Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I'm going to tell you guys, as I promised, I'm going to give you an update on my Dogecoin experiment. I'm also going to talk about what's going on with the stock market and also give you some perspective on this thing with Bitcoin. So, buckle up your seatbelt, get comfortable. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. This is where we talk about financial topics every single day, several times a day, and we always come at it from a Black perspective. Black wealth is the only wealth that's the most important wealth for us. You ain't got to be Black to be here, but you got to agree that this is a platform designed for Black people in the Black community. So if you agree with that philosophy, type hashtag B1 in the chat. I see you, Kent and Cha-Ching and Shonda Banks and Icardi Tina Midget and Max Jerome. What's going on, brother? And Tiffany Sullivan. All right, so let's hop into it now. Cha-Ching is already jumping into the Dogecoin conversation. He said that you bought it way too high, boys. Most people got it at 3 cents or lower. He says cryptocurrency is in a bear market. It's all good though. Well, maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. Nobody knows. All I know is that I think we're on day 4 of the Dogecoin experiment. I took a survey on my Twitter, and I asked you guys if you'd be interested in seeing me buy some Dogecoin and telling you what happened, and also giving you kind of a play-by-play of what I'm seeing and what I believe. And so far, it's not working. So far, the Dogecoin investment has gone bad. There's my Twitter, by the way. Please make sure you follow me on Twitter because I'm tired of idiots following me on Twitter and getting on my nerves. I need some intelligent Black people in the house. So follow me on Twitter right there. My Twitter is right there on the screen. I think that you could be right. I could have bought too high, you're right, or we could have bought too low. Nobody knows, and that's the problem because nobody knows what the fundamental value of a Dogecoin is supposed to be. If Dogecoin had gone up to $10 a coin, well, then I would have been buying low, right? But if it drops down to a penny, then I bought too high. And the funny thing about investing is there's a concept called ex ante versus ex post. Ex ante is before the fact, ex post is after the fact. So everybody's an expert ex post, meaning that hindsight is always 2020. Right? Every time it goes wrong, people look back and they say, "Oh man, you messed up because you should have went left." But if things had gone right, they say, "Oh, that was so smart, you went right." Right? I knew it all along. Well, really, you didn't know, right? If you don't know, you don't know, right? Because if any of us could really tell the future, then everybody in this room would be a millionaire. If you could go back 5 years and know exactly what companies to invest in, know exactly what they were going to do, know exactly how the world's going to change, know exactly that the pandemic was going to happen in the year 2020, and bought you some Zoom back when it was trading at 10, 20, $30 a share, then then all of us would be filthy rich, right? But we're not because you have hindsight that's 100% clear, but you don't have foresight, right? Where you take the best information you have and you make your best decision at that point. Well, the challenge with Dogecoin is that nobody knows because Dogecoin is not really an asset. Dogecoin is just a figment of your imagination. Dogecoin is as real as Homer Simpson. It's as real as Mickey Mouse. It's as real as Wakanda. It was a creation that somebody put together and said, "Hey, let's just throw it out here and see what happens." So, what's going to happen with Dogecoin, nobody knows. Most of the experts don't talk about Dogecoin. The financial experts don't mess with it. Also, the crypto experts are a little bit offended by the existence of Dogecoin because their goal is to establish cryptocurrency as a legitimate financial asset, as a legitimate form of currency. So when they see Dogecoin, from what I've gathered from the people I've talked to, many of them seem to see Dogecoin almost as a distraction or a joke. It's almost like when you have people in the LGBT community who don't like people who are flaming, right? Because they're like, you're misrepresenting who we are. You're being too much of a stereotype. Or when you see a Black person acting too Black, like extra blackity black, and they just are embarrassing all Black people within a 100-mile radius because they're like so Black about everything that it kind of just misses the point. Well, Dogecoin kind of does that. Dogecoin's not a real currency. Dogecoin is not a real asset. But what's interesting, though, is that Dogecoin does prove the important point that if you want something to be a currency, it can become a currency. If you want it to become an asset, it can become an asset. So Dogecoin, if you look at it as something where simply you buy it at one price and you try to sell it at another, then yeah, it becomes an asset, and it has really weird dynamics that are hard to understand. One of the things about it though is that when you're buying into an illusion like Dogecoin, you have to be able to run for the hills before everybody else. It's really a big Ponzi scheme because Ponzi schemes don't lose money for everybody. Ponzi schemes only lose money for people who end up holding the bag or people who end up buying too high or they buy at the peak. So the question you ask is, well, why would any rational, intelligent investor buy anything when it's at its peak? Well, it's because you don't know where the peak is. Again, ex post, after the fact, everybody knows where the peak was. Ex ante, before the fact, nobody knows where the peak is. That's why you can sell assets when you're at a peak. But there are some things in this market that can tell us that we might be approaching a peak when it comes to stocks and crypto and everything else. A big indicator is this. You know, basically insiders have information you don't have. They know where their companies are going. They know what deals are on the table. They know what opportunities are kind of out there. And so they're kind of seeing over the horizon. Like, even if you remember, does anybody remember this right before the pandemic began? Does anybody remember how there was this sudden flurry of CEOs that all started resigning right before the pandemic started? So tell me, give me a yes or no if anybody remembers that. I remember that. I think Bill Gates it was one of them. Was it Bill Gates or what? I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up. But there were a lot of CEOs I remember particularly who started walking away from their companies mysteriously. The CEO of Disney resigned. A lot of people resigned, right? And they all resigned right before the pandemic kind of really hit mainstream. And I remember seeing that because at that time there was just a little talk like, okay, this is thing happening all the way over in China, big deal. You know, it ain't going to affect the United States, but it might. There's a small chance that it could. And all of a sudden, they all started walking away. And then suddenly, boom, everything shuts down. Well, that's because insiders have information that you don't have. So a lot of people base their investments on watching what the insiders do because the insiders have insight that you may or may not have. So here's the deal. One way that people ex ante, meaning before the fact, can sort of have some prediction on whether prices are too high or whether you've hit a peak or not is they watch what the insiders do in terms of selling their assets. When the insiders start dumping on the market, when they start dumping all kinds of stock and dumping their shares and getting rid of their personal shares and issuing more stock and everything else, then that is an indicator that particular company might be at its peak, where the insiders are saying, "Yeesh, this is too high." In fact, Elon Musk is one of the most honest white people on the planet because he actually went on Twitter right after Tesla stock had taken off, and he said, the price seems a bit high," and that instantly caused the price to plummet. And I'm sure the Securities and Exchange Commission gave him a call, but I like that honesty because what he was basically saying is like, "Yo, man, we're a great company, but we ain't worth what y'all paying right now." You know, and also with Coinbase. Remember, Coinbase came out, and the Coinbase IPO or direct listing. It wasn't an IPO; it was a direct listing. There's differences. I talked about Coinbase. You can go look on the Black Financial Channel and find the video I did. But Coinbase goes over $400 a share, and then it suddenly starts dropping. Well, I argue that the reason it started dropping is because the supply started to exceed the demand. That when the insiders started seeing Coinbase stock going over $400 a share, they said, "Whoa, we're a good company, but we ain't worth that much money." So they started letting those shares go because you want to sell while the getting's good. One of the number one rules on investing is buy low, sell high. Now, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, share button, subscribe button if you haven't done it yet. Also, you may not know this, but I have an audio podcast. You can go to the drboycebreakdown.com if you want to find it. It's on Spotify, or you can look up the Dr. Boyce Breakdown on Spotify and sign up, and you can check it out there. Also, you can text the word "boyce" to 31996. Text "boyce" to 31996, and every now and then I'll shoot you a text message, let you know what we have going on. Now, so in terms of the Dogecoin move, I'm gonna keep it there. I'm gonna, just let it ride out and see what happens. If we lose money, then we lose money. It was a trip to the casino, so I said, what the hell? Why not do it? If you want to see the real crypto investments that I have, the crypto that I'm buying, where I really believe that this crypto has actually made me a ton of money. I believe that this is my long-term hodl space. Hodl stands for hold on for dear life, right? The cryptos that I'm hodling are at, you can go to drboycecrypto.com. I have a screenshot of all of the crypto that I'm buying. A nuisance says, what price did you get the what is it, the Dogecoin at? I think I bought it about 38 cents, right? And I was thinking to myself, is 38 cents a high number or a low number? Well, 38 cents is a high number relative to 14 cents, right? But it's a low number relative to a dollar. Right. And if you hear people say, well, I believe Dogecoin's going to $1, I believe Dogecoin's going to the moon, I believe Dogecoin's going to $10, right? Well, then you will look back, and again, everybody's a genius in hindsight, right? So in hindsight, if Dogecoin goes up to $100 and my 5,000 Dogecoins are suddenly worth $500,000, then I'm gonna look like a genius, right? But if Dogecoin drops to a penny, you look crazy. Why would you pay 38 cents for something that's only worth a penny? Well, because you didn't know it was worth a penny. Because Dogecoin has no fundamental value. It's all based on how much hype. It's all hype, right? So how do you predict hype? I mean, do you think Dogecoin's going to get more hype, less hype? You think people are going to become less interested in it? You don't know. Nobody knows, right? So anyway, hit the thumbs up button, share button, subscribe button. Also, I want to remind you too. I have an options play. If those of you who like selling stock options, which I find to be a wonderful way to make like regular income, I am going to talk about my options play on my Twitch channel. We play Call of Duty on Twitch, and we kill zombies and go and shoot people up and stuff like that in the war zone. You guys know that's been my latest little adventure. I've been playing Call of Duty with my sons and with my friends. I met a lot of great Black people, in the gaming world. So that's been a lot of fun. So I am tonight, later on tonight. Once Alicia's in there teaching her class, so I can't go in there and yell and scream in my video game. But when she gives me my space, I will go in there and I'm going to play Call of Duty, and I will talk to you about this options play that I'm making. I found this company. It's actually based in China that I really like, and I've been making money from selling the stock options. So if you want to know how to do options, I actually have a whole master class in options. The URL is stockoptionsmasterclass.com. I'll share the URL with you guys if you want to take a look. Feel free to go and join it. We did a whole 6-week masterclass on it. It went really, really well. Everybody loved it, and I know you're gonna love it too. And if you don't love it, just let us know. We're happy to give you your money back in the Black Business School. So there you go, stockoptionsmasterclass.com. All right. So have a good night, everybody. And I will be back a little bit later. I want to talk a little bit about what happened in the market this week, some of the things that I'm predicting and expecting based on what I'm seeing, and some moves you might want to make. So have a good day. God bless you. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out if you could. I would really appreciate that. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Peace.